Yeah, so Jacqueline, if you're familiar with Zoom and you want to record the lesson, you can. I think you just have to do something on your end and I just have to approve it. Something like that. But if you can remember everything, that's fine too. Okay, so now the second time, and one more time, same thing. Okay, now we're into the A minor. Oops, oh, this side. E, G. Okay, now the second time is almost the same thing. It's just the ending is a little different. Okay, now. Now I go to the F chord and C, G, and okay, so the second time, the melody just changes a little bit. So it goes up, down, or, okay, so sound out this melody. I believe, oh, leave that, oh, I don't know the words. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so once we get back to here, this is the second time, okay? A minor, G chord, F chord, C chord, G chord, and just hit a C for now. Okay, any questions? So once again, it's kind of impossible to follow this if you don't know the song. Okay, so hopefully you guys know the song. But, you know, if you know the song, you should be able to kind of sound out the melody. And you might say, you know, oh, what chord was it over there? So I'll just show you one more time. Oh, this side, I keep forgetting. G chord, F chord, C chord, G chord. I can't tell if, I can't remember if it's an A minor there or a C there. Okay, so one more time, starting from the first one. Okay, one more time, second time. Oops. I think it is an A minor there. Okay, go for it, couple minutes. No questions? Oh, you guys are doing good. Check something really quick. So I think the important thing is that, you know, things are starting to make sense to you guys now. And I believe that's why I'm able to kind of run through it and you guys can get it. Because if I'm running through the song the way that I'm doing, like right now, but I'm telling you, right, A minor with C, G chord, there's the D. Now we're going to the F chord. We're using this F chord, or add the high E, high G, F, E, then the G chord. We're going to use this one. So because now you're understanding it as chords and notes, I feel like you guys are catching on a lot faster. But if you weren't thinking about chords and notes and you were just trying to follow my fingers, like, wait, where did your finger go? Wait, what, you know, where is that? Or what is your right hand doing? Then I think I'm definitely going too fast, okay? So all this practice you guys put in, you know, as far as learning your notes and chords and stuff, I think it's really worth it. That's a really good job. Okay, so we're talking about, let's grab out my phone. Let me put this on silent, sorry. Okay, so as far as holding chords, okay, and this is a common thing. I mean, like when I play left-handed and in the ukulele for robots class, I have a hard time not, I mean, I have a hard time using my fingertips too. Mostly because my nails are too long, but this is kind of an important thing. So I'm wondering if you're trying to hold chords and you find that you cannot use your fingertips, right? You tend to use flat fingers and your fingers are touching all the strings, so you're not getting a clear sound. Okay, this is a very common problem. So the fingertips, okay, it starts with your thumb position, okay? If you're like this, or like this, or maybe even like this is really difficult because what happens is your fingers over here, okay, whenever you measure the size of your hand, you know, like how some people say, oh, my hands are too small, I can't play or something, right? You always measure from the ukulele here to your fingertips, okay? So right now with your thumb on the top, if you open your hand, yeah, it's not that big. So you're gonna force yourself to use fingertips. I mean, use flat fingers, and you're gonna get a hard time getting a nice sound, okay? What I want you to do is if you see my thumb, and then watch my wrist here, how I bend it. So my fingers are coming forward, okay? So now you can measure, oh, where am I? You can measure the size of my hand from here to the end of my fingers versus when your thumb is on top, now it's only this long, right? So when it's this long, yeah, it's hard to hold chords. You need to get your thumb in the back, right around somewhere in the middle, and make your fingers go forward like this. And then, if you notice, you see this big circle in my hand over here? Somewhere over there, yeah. That circle is important because that's how I'm using fingertips. If I close that circle, I have no choice now but to use flat fingers. Okay, so you want to try to work on that. Thumb in the back, fingers forward, and when you curl your fingers like this, you should have a circle in there. You see that? So Janice, do you find yourself that you're using, like your thumb is in the back? I mean, your thumb is up like this? It's either that, it could be your fingernails are too long. That's another thing too. Because when you're using fingertips, right? If your nail is too long, you're not going to be able to squeeze the string down.
Yeah, I think I keep my nails pretty short because I play the harp too, so they have to be really short. But
Okay.
your tip, I think what I was doing was not making that shift in my wrist to bend it to make
Okay.
it circle. Because now that I try it that way, it's a lot easier. So
Oh,
that
good.
was a great help.
Okay, good. I'm pretty sure it's not that comfortable yet because now it's a new kind of setup, but it's definitely going to help you. I mean, even from this angle, you can see, right, that I can take the pen, put it in my hand, but it's not the reason why this circle is important is because if you look at my fingers, you can see how they're set up to use my fingertips versus closing that. Now it's hard for me to use my fingertips without touching any of the other strings. So yeah, you might have to, you know, just kind of take your time with it and just always try to remember this part. But yeah, it's going to take some time to get comfortable. And, you know, that's always the case because in the beginning, right, when we learn like a C chord or an F chord or G7, you know, we can use, well, I don't want to say bad habits, but we don't have to be really precise with our habits and technique when we're holding chords, like just a C chord or, you know, things like that. But yeah, when you do get into using these more complicated chords, maybe something like this, yeah, with your thumb up like this, I don't think you can. I think it's impossible. So, you know, but we don't actually realize you're doing something wrong, or not really wrong, but you're doing something wrong if you don't have to hold a difficult chord like that. Okay, so that's good. I'm glad you brought that up. And it's not that, you know, you're not supposed to know that because, you know, we're so used to just holding these chords. There's a lot of chords I can hold while holding a pen. You know, like I can hold a pen in my hand. Oh, it's C chord, G7. Yeah. I go to B flat chord, right? But there's some chords, the more advanced chords or more difficult chords. Yeah, I can't do that. So we can actually get away with a lot of bad habits when we're doing simple things. And as it gets more complicated, yeah, we definitely need to figure out what's happening with their fingers. So good. I'm glad you brought that up, and I'm glad I could help. Any other questions? Okay, so I do want to get into this whole, I want to try to introduce this to you guys. To be honest, we are actually, like the things we're doing today is actually very, very close to what we're doing in the intermediate course. Okay, so in the intermediate class, we are talking about solo arrangements, you know, things like that. So what I'm about to share with you guys too is a little bit about music theory. I'm not going to go that deep into it, but it is some advanced thinking. And what I want you guys to know though is that if you guys are starting to, like, if you can keep up with this class and you like it, I think you should really start considering trying to do the intermediate class, because at some point I'm gonna have to go back a little bit more to basics. Okay, so that's kind of like my plan, right? Like you guys start off, this is the beginner class, but if you guys are keeping up, you guys should start moving to the intermediate class, I think. Because this is too difficult as a beginner class, I think. But anyways, that's good for you guys. Okay? And I'm happy we're getting, you know, like today we have possibly 2 or 3 new students, I think. Maybe 2. Okay, but that's good. So let's see. So the thing is, I said this is our F chord, right? F chord here, high G. And I'm saying A minor chord. Okay, so it doesn't make sense, right? Why, how is that the same chord? Because you cannot do this. You cannot say A minor, or you cannot say F chord. Oh, A minor chord. It doesn't work that way, okay? And it just works sometimes. And the reason is, I know we talked about this. I forgot to buy pens, but no worry, I think it's gonna be good. Okay. The notes in an A minor chord, A, C, and E, okay? The notes in an F chord, F, A, and C. Okay? So what you have to kind of think about is, if we played a game, like I told you, okay, I'm gonna hold a chord, but I'm not gonna tell you all the notes I'm playing. Because if I said, okay, I'm holding a chord and I'm holding the notes F, A, and C, you would say, oh, F, A, and C, you're playing the F chord, okay? And then if I told you, well, why can it be an A minor chord. And you're going to say, because if you're playing an A minor chord, you wouldn't be playing an F, you'd be playing an E. Okay, so that's why one is an F chord and the other is an A minor chord. It's a difference in that one note, right? The A and the C's are the same. Okay, so now if I said, okay, let's play the same game, but I'm not going to tell you all three notes. I'm just going to tell you one note first. And I tell you, oh, you know what? I'll even write out. I did pen. I can't believe I forgot to buy pens. I actually went to Long's to buy pens and I forgot. Okay, but anyways, okay, the C chord is the note C, E, and G, okay? So if I told you, okay, what chord am I playing? I'm playing one of these chords. And I told you, okay, I'll just say one note first, A. Okay, then you're gonna say, well, I'm not holding C, but I could be holding an A minor or an F. Okay, you're correct, right? Okay, I'm gonna tell you the next note now. Wait, what was the first note? A. Okay, wait, did I say A? Oh yeah, I think I said A. Okay, so now the first note is A. So you're saying, okay, F chord or A minor chord. Now I'm gonna say, okay, well the next note I'm playing is a C. So it's an A and C. I'm playing an A and C. It could still be an F or an A minor chord, okay? So you don't know. Now the next chord, it's important. Am I playing an F or am I playing an E? Because that's how you're gonna know if I'm playing an F chord or A minor chord. But if I just tell you A and C, you won't understand. I mean, you won't know which chord I'm playing. And that's what I'm doing here, okay? I'm playing an A, and a C. Okay, so I'm just playing A and C. There's no F and there's no E. But there is a G, okay? And this is a little bit more advanced, so I'm not gonna get into this. But if I'm playing a G, this would either make it an F add 9 chord or A minor 7 chord. Both are fine. So both are fine, okay? So it's either A minor, it's either gonna be an A minor 7 or an F add 9 chord, okay? So that part, the major 7, the F add 9 chord, that part is a little bit more advanced. But for now, at least you just understand the basics, right? On any instrument, piano, guitar, bass, ukulele, whenever you strum a chord and you call it a C chord, that means you're playing the notes C, E, and G. Okay, whenever you play the notes A, C, and E together, that means A minor. Whenever you play F, A, and C, that could be an F chord, okay? A lot of times I'll use this chord right here. Okay? And this is what you call this is basically a C chord. Some people call this an open C or a power C, okay? And the reason for that, yeah, I'm not gonna go too far. I know I do this a lot. I start talking, I say, nah, I'm just gonna just a little, I'm not gonna go too deep into it. And then I always go too far and I make you guys like, I don't know, I think I had enough already. Okay. So, but C, E, G. C, E flat, G. These notes right here, this is the difference between a C major chord and a C minor chord. So if I hold this is your C minor chord. I'm playing C, E flat, and G. When I do this, I'm playing C, E, and G. So that's the difference between a C chord and a C minor chord. It's just that one note. Okay, so sometimes we do this where we don't play. Right now, I'm not playing an E or an E flat. So this could be a G. This is a G. This is a C. This is a G. And this is a C. Okay. So is this a C or a C minor chord? And it could be both. Okay. Okay, so does that kind of make sense? Because when you get into solo arrangements, you have to remember that, right? That's how we're finding these different voicings and these different chords. Yeah, so a lot of people call it the power C chord. Some people call it the open C. Okay, but basically that's what it means. You're not playing the third. They call it the third. So like when I play Shutdown, I use this, and I'm using it as a C minor. I'm using this as a C minor chord. But when I play Marry You from Bruno Mars, yeah, I use it as a C chord. Okay, so, of course, Marry You is in a major key, right? It's in the key of C major. So I just use this as a C major just now. And then later I'm going to resolve to a regular C. So. Okay, so it does get a little bit, you know, like I kind of feel like if I just tell you this is an F chord, okay, same thing, but this is an A minor chord now. Sometimes if it doesn't make sense, it's hard for you to feel confident, like, I'm catching on. So the main thing is, even if you didn't understand what I said, but maybe just a little, at least you know that there is a reason. And maybe if you're not ready to take in that information yet, you can take it in later, okay? But it's not really memory, like, oh, it's A minor or F because I said so. There's a reason, okay? So just know that there's a reason. Okay, so what I want to do is the main, okay, if you play the C chord on the A string. Okay, so when you hold a C chord and you strum, okay, I know you're thinking that it's just one chord, but you have to think of the individual notes you're playing, each string, okay? So every time you hit a string, that's one note. G note, C note, E note, and high C note. But I want to do it all together. I just played 4 notes, so you have to think of it that way, okay? Whenever you pick, every time I pick, that's one note. Oh my God, is that a good oh my gosh or a bad oh my gosh? Okay, so that's where a lot of people get confused with chords and notes. They think that the note, right? This is your D note. Okay, well, this is your D chord. So now you think it's the same, but it's actually different. The chord, you have to remember, every chord means it's multiple notes put together. Okay, so even if you're doing one motion, right, you're hitting 4 different strings. So you're actually putting together 4 different notes. Okay? So that's a big difference between chords and notes. So you should try to remember that. Okay, and you don't have to memorize everything, but just kind of know, you know. All right. Okay, are there any other questions? Because I do want to review the Titanic song again. But while we're on the subject of these chords, and maybe you guys are playing stuff and you guys came across some things that didn't make sense to you. Bruce, how can I play fast? The easiest way, like what I do a lot too, especially on my channel, is I record something and then I go to this section and I speed it up. What are you talking about? Strumming? Are you talking about strumming, Ariel?
Yes, I mean the strumming, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so when you're strumming, you're talking more right hand, I think, right? Strumming hand.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the part I'm not confident.
Okay. So the trick to strumming fast is you have to relax, okay? And I really need to figure out a better way to teach this, because I always teach it the same about, you know, how to let your wrist go, you relax, and I'll go into more detail. But recently, I went into a golf shop to try to, I wanted to get a shaft, change the shaft of my driver, something that kind of fit my swing more. And the way that I swing my club, they measure the club head speed, like how fast does your club actually go through the ball, and they measure that, right? And basically, the faster you can get the ball, I mean the club to hit the ball, the further the ball will go. Something like that, right? So you can swing as hard as you can, but if you're like me and you don't have the right technique, it feels like you're going as hard as you can, as fast as you can, but it's actually kind of slow. And then you look at the pros who just look like, pew, and they're like twice as fast as me, right? So this guy tells me, so I say, okay, so how do I build club head speed? You know, same with tennis, your racket, tennis racket speed. So how do I build it? He said, oh, you got to relax more. You're trying too hard. You're too stiff. You're too tense. Okay. And I didn't like that answer, because I remember that's what I always tell my students when they say, Bruce, I play fast. You just got to relax. You know, you're too tense. You're trying too hard. You have to relax. So the answer is true, but now I understand that by me saying relax, it doesn't quite help that much. Okay, so let me kind of get into that. Okay, so the thing about playing fast, okay, is it is speed. Okay, it's about how fast your hands can move. So there were a couple of things. I know I covered this before, but if you take, let's see. Okay, number one is you definitely, if you want to strum fast, you cannot use your elbow. Okay, your elbow will only go like this. Okay? You have to learn to use your wrist. Okay, so one thing you can do is, what song is this? Well, anyways, okay. So one thing you can do, you take a piece of paper or a ball. A tennis ball would be good. Okay, the first step is I like to put it here and just kind of hold it in your arm, okay? And then just try to strum. Okay, now the thing is, if you open, right, it's gonna fall out. Okay, so just kind of get comfortable with this motion. Okay. The other important thing is you see over here, this space. This is really important. Okay, it's not flat like this, and you're not doing this. Okay, this is you need this space. This space is my leverage. Okay? If you shake your hand as like like it's sore or it's wet and you're trying to shake it like this, you're gonna notice that you have this triangle, and your hand is just kind of going like this. Okay, it's not flat like this, and you're trying to get water off, right? You have this little thing here, this little triangle point, and then you start shaking. So just try this for now, okay? So before you try anything else when you strum, you have to realize that you cannot move your hand faster than this, okay? You can try to put in more muscle, more arm, but you cannot move any faster than this, okay? So you have to kind of practice this motion first. You just, I mean, not, you know, crazy, you know, just kind of relax, okay? And then what I like to do is just kind of relax his hand, but you have to imagine, right? Eventually you're gonna be strumming with your pointer finger. So I like to kind of relax and just imagine, you know, get your finger out. I just kind of go back and forth like this, okay? And what you're trying to do is you're basically trying to relax your hand and do this, but in a controlled way, okay? Not, you know, moving your elbow and getting all crazy, but in a controlled way, okay? Not that fast yet, okay? And then as you go faster, now you're slowly trying to go faster. But the key is when you go faster, what you're gonna tend to do is go bigger. like longer strokes, okay? The key is to go small strokes and then try to go faster. Okay, so if I put it by my ukulele, slowly gonna get there. Okay, so I'm just doing this, and I'm slowly gonna go a little slower. Okay, so just like this. Okay, now what happens is as you start to try and go faster, your strokes get bigger. Can you guys see this? So because your strokes are bigger, even though you're moving faster, it's not sounding faster. So it's about moving faster while keeping the same stroke. And then maybe can you kind of see that you can still see this angle here, right? So you see this angle. This angle is really right in here. Okay, that's really important. So you want to keep that, okay? And you got to kind of just, yeah, I don't want to say that word so much anymore, like relax and that's it. But it is important. You need to relax. But you also have to make sure you're controlling the length of your stroke. Okay? And in fact, when we roll, like a lot of times when we end a song, you might end it like this. And then we're going to slow down. Right? And then we end the song. That's how I'm slowing down. I want to keep the intensity of the roll. But I don't want to actually slow down, so my strokes are just getting bigger. So that's why you still hear that roll, da 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 da. Okay? So when you want to strum faster, you want to be able to just do this first, maybe. Okay. And important to use, remember, use the back of your finger, okay? Just like basic strumming. Okay, so using the back. And you basically have to just get comfortable with this motion. But yeah, I mean, to me, it's exactly like your hand is sore and you're just kind of shaking it, but a little bit more controlled. Again, don't use the side of your finger like this. You gotta turn your hand, right? Turn. And... But like I said, yeah, this little space here, that's pretty, I mean, that might be a really important thing. Because that's where your leverage comes up, your power. You know, when you wanna really hit the string. Okay. So that's pretty much the strum thing, but you have to keep practicing it and you got to get comfortable with it. That's the key, is just trying to get comfortable with it. And you do get comfortable, okay? And it's not about just trying to copy what I'm doing and then all of a sudden you can strum fast. It's about starting off a little slower, you know, and then just trying a little bit faster, okay? And later you're gonna a little smaller. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, and try counting when you do it too. Okay? So try to do that. I think that will really help you. And then, like I said, yeah, I mean, sometimes you want to play fast. You try it. Maybe you'll spend like a week on it, and then you can't do it, and then you start to think, hey, I don't know how to play fast. I want to learn how to strum faster. But actually, you're probably on the right track, but it's just, you know, it takes longer than that. Okay, did that help?
Yeah, thanks.
All right, good. Okay, so any other questions before we review our Titanic song? Oh, my right hand nail is a little longer. I wouldn't say that long, like this. Okay, so my left hand, I actually bite my nails a lot. My right hand is a little bit longer. Oh, maybe this is too long. Middle finger is too long. My thumb is a little longer. And usually what I do with my nails, especially my thumb and my pointer finger, my thumb and my pointer finger, I actually like the feeling of when I pick down, I can feel my skin and my nail hitting the string. So I really like this feeling. Okay, when I'm picking, sometimes my nail gets a little bit too long and then I can't feel it on my skin. It's all nail, so I don't like that too. And Jake and I both, as your nail gets long too, your nail tends to start, as it gets longer, it bends, right? So sometimes it'll start to snag the string. So we often use these nail filers. And then if we need to, we'll just kind of get underneath. Not necessarily. I mean, we'll probably use a nail clipper for length, but sometimes we do try to get underneath the nail, like this. Oh, wait. Yeah, maybe right in that corner, something like that. That feels weird. Like, I'm a manicure. Okay, but then that way, yeah, I can kind of feel. So sometimes when I'm just playing, I can feel like, oh, my fingers or my nails getting a little stuck. I just take the file, just kind of take it down a little bit. So I don't think there is a exact gel nail. Gel, no, I've never heard of that. But yeah, it does matter. So with your right hand, you're playing, you're picking, and you go like, oh, feels like my finger's getting stuck. Yeah, either cut your nails or, So Jake actually, he kept going shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. So Jake's nails are actually pretty short. He actually started liking the feeling of just the skin. Okay, so before though, we'd be about the same. But yeah, I feel like, I feel sometimes like without the nail, I can't be as articulate. For example, right? If I'm using my skin, you know the difference between the strumming if I use my skin. You get a much warmer sound, little on the softer side, but very smooth. And then when I strum with my nail, you're gonna notice it's a very articulate sound. So now I'm strumming down with my nail, and I'm strumming up with my nail. Skin. Okay, so volume is definitely an issue too, right? I mean, volume is different, but you can kind of hear the difference in tone, right? So I don't like all nails like the way I was strumming, but I kind of like it, just where I can kind of get a little bit of both. Yeah, so actually, I guess I could do it left hand. So if I go left-handed, pretty good. So for those of you that are not joining my Ukulele for Robots class, I am improving. Okay, so, okay, and then with my nail, can you kind of hear how you can hear a little bit more, like definitely with the skin, it's warmer. It's definitely a warmer sound. But, depending on the songs you play too, a lot of times I like to play a little bit more. Like I used to play a lot of the old adventures, like Pipeline. The songs like Wipeout. So, you know, I kind of like that little more aggressive feel versus a little bit warmer sound, but it's just preference. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So, but you only can have one nail, right? So, but yeah, so that's kind of my take on the nail. I know after I say like, yeah, so I like my nail kind of a little bit on the longer side. So, you know, I can feel, and yeah, Jake likes it short. I know all you guys are gonna cut all your nails now. Okay, anything else, you guys? No, you guys are good? Okay, so let's review the song real quick. Okay, so from the top, okay, C chord, little more down. G chord, F chord, C chord, G chord. Okay, then one more time. Oh, not one more time. F chord, G chord. Now one more time. Okay, Ariel, have fun at work. Okay, and now we're going to the A minor, G, E, A minor, oops, one more time, to the F chord, maybe it is a C chord. I don't know. I hear it going to the A minor chord. I gotta listen to the song again. Okay, but that's pretty much all it is. So try work through the melody, work through the chords, and does anybody need me to do it again for them? Did you guys forget one part? Now is the time. Yeah, there's no video of this one. That's why. So if you have any, you need to see anything again, let me know. But yeah, if you are, you know, having a hard time with this, don't worry. We're not going to be doing these solo arrangements for much longer. Okay. But if you are, you know, keeping up and you think, oh, yeah, you like this and you want to do more of this style, you got to start looking into the intermediate class because that's where we're doing it. Okay. So, and that's a good class if you like the solo arrangements. Because I think, what did we do last week? Last week we did that song Together We Stand. Okay, so if you like this style and you're keeping up and everything, you should definitely check out the intermediate class. You guys are slowly graduating. Okay, and then if you're having a hard time, that's right. Just do what you can, learn what you can, and then, you know, probably next week you'll start getting a little easier again. So everybody's good with this? You guys all good? All right. So I'm actually gonna go try and play some tennis today. So wish me luck. It's been a while. Well, I don't know. I always say, I don't know. Yeah, the last few times I went out to play tennis, I actually didn't play. I just sat down, talked stories with everybody. So yeah, so in Hawaii, yeah, slowly they're starting to open things up, which is good, but kind of scary. You don't really know how long. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I mean, I know everybody has different opinions, but it's so interesting to me where it's kind of like I don't really know how to feel about anything. Like, okay, parks are open again. So you would think, right? You'd be like, oh, all right, we can go to the parks again. We can go play tennis. We can. But at the same time, you feel like, is it safe? I don't know. So it is kind of weird, but I don't know. I just agree with everybody. All right. But anyways, you guys have a good weekend. Maybe I'll see some of you guys for the first time in the intermediate class. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Yeah, tomorrow I'll be 39, not 40 yet. Oh, man. Yeah, it's all the same. 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. All right, you guys, it was fun today, and I'll look forward to seeing you guys next week. Okay, at any time, if you have questions, comments, anything, just send them to me. Any day of the week, doesn't matter. All right, you guys take care. Thank you. See you guys soon.